welcome to Celebrities Point on Clever TV. My name is Josephine Duku. I'm from Kenya, but I live permanently in Mallorca. Welcome, Mr. David Andish.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Greetings to everybody in Africa and the rest of the world.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, in this Celebrities Point, to know about your vocation, how you come to decide to be a musician. What inspired you to be a musician?
Well, when I was young, I loved music so much, and I didn't really dream of being into music until at a much later stage. But I really loved music, and for my age, I loved strange music. For the times that we were growing up in, there was a lot of rock and roll, and there was a lot of local music at that time in my country. A lot of local music was just being born, so everybody was listening to that. But it was very difficult to find jazz on radio or on TV. So I would tune in to shortwave and listen to that. So I listened to a lot of music. And then later on, in my later years, I met somebody who I knew was playing an instrument. And I was very interested. I said, wow, I need to learn this. So I asked him to teach me, and that's how I started learning the guitar some 21 years ago, and I've never looked back since.
That's great. So, how long have you been now singing? From which age you start singing?
I started when I was in my ninth grade. I should have been 16? I think 16 or 17. Yeah, I think I was 16 or 17. That's the time I started, because I was still in at junior secondary school then.
And up to now, how long have you been singing? See, from that 16 years up to now, or you stopped, you come again, or how long have you been there?
21. This is 2022. Actually, in August it will be 22 years in music.
Wow, that is great. That is great. So, apart from music, do you have another inspiration in life apart from music?
When I was young, of course, I wanted to be a lawyer or a medical doctor, one of the two, before I knew that I had a passion for music. So, but the other passion that I have is administration, in terms of arts administration, working with musicians, making them understand about publishing rights and music copyright issues. So generally, more to do with administration and promotion of music. That is the other passion that drives me up to now.
And like musicians in Africa, our people, like African people, our people, how they come to associate with you when you start to sing, they like it, how they saw your appreciation to you. How do you see how they catch up?
Oh, in Africa, it was now it's becoming in Africa. When they hear, the parents will tell them, no, there's nothing in music. You cannot do music. You have to do something. You have to do this. So it was very difficult for a young African child to go into music back then. But right about now, the world and Africa has changed a lot, and parents are more encouraging for children to go into music. And generally, the people are also very open to music, and the reception is really, really good, and it's really, really encouraging. Especially now, we're seeing more Africans proud of their roots, proud of their sounds, and making more music which is African driven right now. There was a time when that was not there. Everybody wanted to play rock and roll. Everybody wanted to play this, but now there's that pride in making African music, and all the people also they enjoy listening to African artists and African music, which is very, very encouraging. The time that we're in, very interesting times actually.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So, being there, have you gone to a musician tour in Africa or outside Africa? How have you been for this your career?
I've traveled around Africa. I've not been outside the African continent, but I've had events like in South Africa, and generally the atmosphere is the same when you travel out. People are really excited, and people love good music. And every time
Yeah,
good music is produced, every time good music is performed, and you find that actually sometimes artists are actually more celebrated outside their own countries than in their own countries, because probably in their own countries they have been seeing how they have risen to where they are, but outside there they are celebrated more, and it's very, very electric, and it's thrilling every time you're on stage. It's just thrilling, and it's very exciting.
yeah. Ah, in Africa we have many artists like you. Who is your favorite artist in Africa? Like a musician, one of the
Oh,
musician. Who is your favorite?
that's very difficult one. It's very, very, very difficult. It's
If
very
you want to check it,
it's very
just
difficult, but I think maybe I can throw in a few names. Since I'm more of a jazz artist, um, going for the artists of the odd, without any order, you have Richard Bonner, um,
mm-hmm,
Salif Keita,
mm-hmm,
Hugh Masekela, Oliver
mm-hmm.
Mtukudzi, Jimmy Ludlu in South Africa, James
Wow.
Sakala from my country here, Zambia, PK
Mhm.
Chala from my country here as well. Not forgetting the big names in the DRC like Madilu System and Kofi
Wow.
Olomide. And
Mhm.
the list is endless. The list is endless.
You have big list. That's
Yeah.
great. Um, and with your career continuing, how do you see our African people respond, or they support you now, they like you because before parents they know support us in this, but now people they know what the music. How you see our community or our African people respond to you?
Yeah, I think African is responding really well to its own people, to its own creation. It's not only in the music arts, but just generally, Africa is becoming more united. And we must remember that we never had these borders back then. Africa was just
Yeah.
Africa. That is why even certain words with Bantu languages, words that I speak in my language can mean the same thing in Kenya, in Swahili, can mean the same thing. So we were one people, and we are slowly getting back to that. And the response across Africa is it's like a revolution, if I can put it that way. It's like a revolution where Africans are really, really celebrating their own roots, they're celebrating their music, they're celebrating their creativity, and it is just thrilling. And right now the whole world actually is actually listening to African music right now. So Africa is really, really doing good, really doing good.
And analyzing yourself, where you think you played the best and you enjoyed the music in Africa, where you will think you enjoyed it, the place.
Wow. Oh. Oh, so many places to pick from. But I think right here at home, in my home, Zambia,
Hmm?
it's especially when I go to the villages, away from the
Wow.
cities,
Hmm?
outskirts, and just reconnect with the people out there in the villages. It's just exciting. Those people can dance the whole night. They never get
Wow.
tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think out doing music really back in the villages where it came from has been the biggest highlight for me, and the celebration of that, it's my most precious memories about.
Wow, I'm very happy. I'm proud to have an African musician artist from Zambia here. I'm very happy and welcome. And you'll be the best. Your future will be colorful. So, Mr. David, I would like to ask you, with all that to wow, to be musician, how you see your future? How you see your future is coming year after 5 to 10 years? How can you see it's coming to?
I think I see my future. It's obviously a bright future, and what I've done in terms of my music is to do music that preserves our culture. Okay, so because we have a new generation of young people in Africa who are growing up, who are some of them are school of kind of music, the pop kind of music, and for me, I've decided to maintain our culture, our roots, while making our music modern. So I see a very exciting future ahead. I see a very bright future, and I'm looking forward to working with more and more artists across the continent of Africa, and just join together and produce good things. So I'm very excited about my future. It's very optimistic, if I can put it that way. Very optimistic.
Wow, that is great. That is great. So, like one day on live, you come to visit us. We want to hear your music in Europe. We want to welcome you everything to Europe to come visit us and be with us. We enjoy you, enjoy your music, we enjoy your everything in Africa.
Oh, that is one thing we are looking forward to, exporting our culture and exporting our sound to Europe. It'll be very exciting to be there, and we will really look forward to that, and we'll just have fun and just blow the roof away. And it's something that we'll really be proud of, and it will be a very great honor for us to just be in Europe and just share the culture, share the music that we have here, and be we are looking forward to that. Very excited about that.
Wow, that's great. That is great. What about your family? They are happy you be a musician. They are supporting you to be a musician. Well, what's the point?
Oh yes, my family is very supportive. Actually, when I started music, I was staying with my mom, and
Yeah.
they supported me very much. Even when I went into music production, the first computer that I used was bought by my dad. I started producing right in the living room of my parents' home, and they were very
Mm.
supportive, and they encouraged me to say, go for it, go for it. And my family is very supportive. My wife is a scientist. She's a biological scientist, so she's in the world of science. And my son, who is turning 7 in a few weeks, is very supportive of me and encourages me. Although he's gone more to his mother as well, he's more into science and math, but he's also very good on the piano, and very supportive and encouraging. And that's what one can. When you have support from home, you can really
Yeah.
just go for it and reach us and achieve your dreams. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is good because you be blessed. If some blessing come from home first to start any career, everything come from home first, and you are blessed. You are welcome to Celebrities Point in Clement TV. So you will get many artists and followers from our TV. We are very happy to be with you, Mr. David. So, Mr. David, can you tell us what you do in your career. You produce, you sing. I think explain that for us so that all the followers they will know what you are doing in your career, please.
Okay, thank you. So I started out as a musician and developed into a music producer over the years. And um, my main instrument is guitar, although I'm able to play the other main three instruments: keyboards, bass guitar, and the drums. So I've been into and music performance. So I'm a producer, and we have a lovely studio where we do all our recordings. It's called Pentatech Studios. It's in Lusaka, and actually, my all my recordings for my albums were done at Pentatech. And I've been part of records for many years, and I've been part of live performances with different artists, also as a session musician and as a music producer. So um, it's been a long journey and very exciting journey to work with other artists around as a session guitarist, as a session producer, and just to be around everybody. So basically, a recording artist as well as a music producer, and that's the main highlights of what I do in my music space.
Ah, that's good. Um, and in the music, you only play guitar or you play another instrument for this your music, piano, another thing, violin, or another instrument. Do you use another instrument?
Yeah, guitar. I play keyboard, and I play
Hmm?
bass guitar. Actually, most of the for my album, most of the songs I played the keyboards and guitar and produced everything. I had friends who came in to do bass, and some friends who came in to do keyboards. But generally, like the most of the times when I'm laying down productions, even working for other artists, I actually play the bass guitar and the keyboard as well. And I do sing
Wow.
as well.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's great. So I don't know if you have another something you have people to follow you. You have to produce your career here. Anything else you have to put everything you to hear from you. You can talk. You have to talk and tell us what else you can do. What can we can hear from you.
So mainly since we are into arts and music, our music is not just for CDs. We do performances for events. We do performances for music festivals, jazz festivals, corporate events, and weddings. And somebody wants to have a wedding with beautiful African music in there and just beautiful African jazz, we do that as well. And our company as well here in Zambia, Pentatech, we also do video production. So it's a full media house where there's audio production and visual productions. So even the music videos that I do, they're actually done by our team here at Pentatech Studios.
Ah, that's good. Good, do good work.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Mr. David, in Africa, you get many musicians, they come up, they start, they grow up. How do you see it? How do you analyze everything for Africa side?
For in terms of African music, I'm very, very excited, and the future is really, really bright. In that we have a lot of young people who are going into music, and they are really doing good music. They're producing very good music, be it pop music, the new sounds of Amapiano and Afro beats. The quality is very, very good. The production is good. The videos are good. The recordings are superb. it's really, really exciting to see that we are producing very, very good quality music in Africa right now, and I'm very excited about that. And it doesn't matter where across our continent now, productions are really good and they're on point. And the other thing that I'm really enjoying is just how we are collaborating as African artists and African musicians. You know, African musicians are collaborating from as far as Nigeria, collaborating with artists from South Africa, artists from Kenya, across just like that. Tanzania would collaborate with artists from the Congo DR. There's just that oneness, that interlink that has come into African music, and it's very exciting to see.
Yeah. Are you like a musician? How, what can you advise people who are young, youth people who are starting from zero, they are just finding their career? How can you tell them to the advice you can give them?
Yeah, so music is sometimes I think people think music is easy and it's fun, yes, but music is also a lot of hard work. And for the young people starting out, it really is a lot of hard work, and you need to improve yourself every time. You need to work on your craft every time. You need to practice. And then there are also important things like you need to be patient as well with yourself, because you don't want to start a career and think that by tomorrow you will jump and you will reach certain levels. You grow in stages in music. And so it's very important for young musicians to be really patient and trust the process, because it's that process that really refines you and makes you into a better musician. So learn from those who have gone ahead of you. It's very important. No man possesses the monopoly of wisdom. We all learn and tap from one another. So from those who have gone ahead of you, do not be afraid to ask, and do not be afraid to make mistakes as well. And it's a very thrilling journey. Take it one step at a time, and you will
Thank you very much. And what in future? We know many artists they don't grow. I don't know how you see the unite of people who are growing, people who are all artists in Africa. How you see them? You are how people united, how you help each other. How did you see on your side?
Yeah, so I'm happy to see that there's that cohesion that is coming across, and I'm happy to see that our borders now, when it comes to music, our borders right now don't really matter. You know,
Mhm.
they don't really matter. We are just crossing. Music has no boundaries. Music has no borders. Music is a language that can be spoken by people who don't speak the same mother tongue or native language. Talk about music. So I am very, very happy, and to see a lot of African musicians that are rising, working together, and just producing really good things. It's very, very exciting. Very exciting.
And which language you used to produce your music, or you used to sing your music? Which language?
So in my country we have 72 tribes. But we do have seven main local languages that are used in my country, and so songs are done in Tonga, Silozi, Bemba from the northern part of Zambia, um, eastern part of Zambia, which has Chewa and Tumbuka, and we Kaonde, Lunda from the northwestern. So you kind of go across the country to just uh, get a piece and share the cake with everybody else, because you don't want to just be in one language. And generally, when we go on the African scene, we pick the language which we know many African countries would understand, and which is Swahili.
Yeah, hope you sing in Swahili
Yeah.
because that is our native language.
Yes.
I have to follow you because I want to hear Swahili in your music.
Yeah.
So we African, we have different different type of traditional way of living,
Mm-hmm.
different different way of understanding. Every country have a traditional way of live. How you think, how did you see when you start singing, you sing global music in Africa way? How you think everybody come to analyze it? They like it? How?
Okay, that's a very interesting question because our cultures are very similar. Our cultures are very
Mhm.
similar. So you find that you can listen to a song which is done in a village in Kenya, and it sounds exactly like a song which your grandmother used to sing in your language in Porokoso here in Zambia. Or you can
Yeah,
listen to a song done in the village of Cameroon, and the sound very similar. So our cultures are very, very similar and intertwined. And actually, what I've come to realize of late is that when it comes to traditional sounds and traditional music, hey, our music is the same. Our
yeah,
tempos are the same. Our rhythms are the same. Our styles are the same of singing. It's a call and answer type of singing. So when you do cultural music and it goes to villages across Africa, they are able to relate to the music because they hear something that sounds like, whoa, this sounds like it's from a village. There is a song on my album, it's called The Village Awakes. And The Village Awakes is a song that starts with indigenous sounds from West Africa, Mali, and Senegal, Gambia, and then it comes down, and then it's got sounds of the Congo Brazzaville and Congo DR there, and then the last part ends in typical traditional sounds from the northern part of my country. So it's got that cultural blend across Africa. So when I listen to songs from other countries, I'm like, oh wow, this sounds exactly like the songs from this side of the village of my country. I remember the migration. If we do a little bit of history, remember the migration of our people, like in Zambia, Central Africa. It started from up there, Central Africa, Northern Africa, and they started migrating down. So they came with that sound. Even when they arrived here, they came with that sound. And so when you play that sound and people from the north hear it, they are able to relate with it because at the end of the day, Africa, we are one people.
one. We are one. Africa, we are one. Yes. Thank you very much. So, uh, before, like you talked, the tones of our music in Africa, I listen uh, Salif Keita, I listen another Kenya music, Senegal music. The tone is the same, the whole musician artist. But now, I don't know, how have you seen they continue to be the same tone, or we are just changing, we are moderating everything? How do you see it for your side?
So what I've seen is that since we have a new generation that is rising, a new generation that is playing new music now. So the younger ones are doing more of new school, kind of a little bit of blend of the old. So the music of the older generation is kind of stayed with the older generation. It's not really moved to the new school. So there's a little bit of
Yeah.
that gap there, and there needs to be a bridge for that to continue, because in an event that you lose the older generation of musicians, risk in Africa to actually lose even that heritage to go with them. So there must be that bridge. There must be some young people who carry that sound with them as well, so that we keep the sound alive. You listen to country music has been there for decades and decades, but it's still there and it keeps evolving. So music evolves. Yes, music evolves, but there's some elements that need to be maintained to point the music where it is coming from, to point the music to its roots while modernizing. And when you listen to my album Stories and Laughter, you can be able to pick that that's exactly what I'm doing. You hear a lot of strong traditional music in there, traditional sounds, but you still hear a lot of modern sounds in there. So what we need is a blend of the two to keep our culture and music alive.
That's great. So we have talked about the music of jazz. We never go and talk about Christian music. So do you see Christian music?
Yes, 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 yes. Actually, I am a Christian. I am a Christian myself, and
Yeah.
yes, so even most of the music that I've produced actually is gospel music, and
Yeah.
yeah, so gospel music has been doing really good from way back. Gospel musicians have really been doing good, especially in terms of live performances, because probably it's because most musicians come from church, and churches have got instruments and they play instruments most of the times. But I see African gospel music has really been doing good. It's been setting the pace for a while, and it's good to see that it's still there and it's still doing very, very well. And it's very exciting to see the gospel music there as well.
That's good. So going back to 2 years ago past, we get a big crisis in the world. How did Africa, oh Africa, you see how they manage the situation of that crisis of world?
Oh, that crisis really put the world on its knees and just changed the whole way of how we do things. And our hearts go out to every life that was lost during the crisis. And it really changed a lot of things. But there are a lot of positives that the crisis really brought. That's the COVID crisis. And one of the
Yeah.
positives that it brought is that it improved African musicians and just generally to do more of digital connections with their fan bases. And so they'll do concerts and stream their concerts live on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube, and on their websites. And that's a good positive that we didn't have back then. You know, it was very difficult to watch concerts, you know, from favorite artists, but now that was birthed out of that. And I think it changed also how we deliver music to our consumers. It changed how we also just produce music and how we connect. And there are a lot of positives that have come out from the crisis of the coronavirus across the continent of Africa. And we've seen that Africans, even the way they just do music, um, has changed for the better. We saw collaborations of where they would go on maybe Skype, and this artist is singing in his country, this artist is singing in his country, and they come together. There was a very big unity that came to stand with each other in Africa during that time. So the crisis came, yes, but a lot of positives came out of it, and a lot of positives. And I hope we can pick the positives and run with them and continue growing from where we are at right now.
Yeah. At home with this, our Africa situation, when we are doing events, not be able to go. We used to go to meet the artists, everything like this. Now, with going to the Facebook, no, many of the countries network is not good. Everything is not good. I don't know what was very hard for you people to contact with people, to be with people. How did you see it?
Yes, it was very difficult to connect with the people because when you look at people like in the outskirts where they have no internet facilities or smartphones, like in the villages, um, you can't really reach out to them, and they can only maybe hear you on radio and things like that. But that was a very difficult time. for artists because they couldn't connect with their fans, they couldn't go out, they couldn't sell their CDs. It was a very, very challenging time because literally the whole music industry kind of just closed, and it was just suspended. But we managed as artists to find ways around to connect with our artists, maybe even just drive through and just keep up with the connection with our fans. It was very, very difficult, but we are very excited now that we are back on the roads and we are able to meet our supporters, our fans across, and it's very exciting to be back on the road.
Yeah. So everything is open in Africa and there's no closed down again. Everything is okay now. Okay.
Yes,
So
mhm.
that's great. So thank you very much for everybody who are listening for us. We have come to the head of the program for Celebrities Point. You are most welcome. Who want to join us? We are there waiting for you people. Thank you very much. Bye.